This is Morgan Hazelwood, back again with more writing tips and writerly musings. Today I'm here with Giving Your Work Away for Fun and Profit. Another batch of notes from my Balticon 2022 rewatch. The description of the titular panel was as follows. Everyone loves free stuff, but authors need to pay the bills. Can you make money by giving your work away? And if so, how do you choose what to distribute for free? What tools and metrics can you use to show a publisher or business partner that the work you give away for free is driving sales? Now, while they didn't get to all the points of the description, they did share a lot of good information. The panelists were Brenda Clough, Leonardo Espinoza Benavides, Jean Marie Ward, and Donald Ekpeki, with Angela Yuriko Smith as moderator. While the dream for most authors is to have their writing pay the bills or more, most of us are willing to settle for getting paid something for our words. That said, there are many legitimate reasons to give away the fruits of your work in certain situations. Factors to consider. The primary factor is, can the author afford to wait for non-tangible returns to turn into cash? Blogging, internships, social media posts, all of these are usually unpaid and fill hours or days of a writer's life weekly. Will the skills learned here be applicable where the writer wants to pivot? And there is a privilege inherent for those who can afford to work for free or a pittance. Another factor to consider is whether the audience they're getting quote unquote exposure with is the same audience that they're writing their for-profit works for. Are they getting an equal or better return on investment that they could get from spending advertising dollars? Another factor is the percentage of their writing they can afford to give away for free. A chapter or the first book of a series can be enticing, but when most of your catalog is free, you start to set up expectations for your readers. I know there's people I read on Kindle Unlimited that when it comes time to buy the rest of their books, I just go looking for authors similar. Another factor to consider is simply, does the writer want to become a professional writer? Do they want to go pro? Because you cannot qualify for pro status without being paid at a pro market rates, which for sci-fi fantasy is 8 cents per word, at least here in the US. And the final factor to consider is the writer's market. Some subgenres are very hard sells. Some countries have low pay rates, and some countries, it's hard for people outside of the country to literally send them the money to pay them. Other things you might want to think about, on the other hand, are copyright concerns. Now, while you can't copyright ideas and you automatically hold the copyright for any story you write, be wary about where you post it and who you let play in your world. We've all seen the viral screenshots of stories with the author conveniently filed off. And if you let enough people play in your world with your characters, especially if you look at and approve the stories, that erodes your ability to both enforce your copyright, and it also clouds the ownership status when TV and movie producers show up. But honestly, far too often, with the amount of money's at risk, they would rather avoid the whole issue than risk a lawsuit. That said, if you ever get a call, DM, whatever, with an offer from a producer, agree to nothing. Tell them that your people will talk to their people and then get your people. Get an entertainment lawyer or an agent who does media rights to represent you ASAP. So now let's talk about what sorts of giveaways help. Well, we may have already mentioned first looks at a new series, often in exchange for signing up for your newsletter. What does this get you? Well, it gets you direct access to the reader that the social media's fickle algorithms don't control, assuming the reader actually looks at their email. And it can either get them hooked on the new characters or story, or let them skip it and avoid bad ratings if it's not up their alley. Another giveaway that can help is donating stories or works to charity anthologies. It gets your name out there, it gets your works out there, and it hopefully associates you with a cause you support and contributes to that cause. The panelists shared a couple of the most unusual giveaways they used that worked. One created freebie books in Second Life, video game, an immersive video game, with the first chapter of their book series. Another leveraged giveaways for visibility during award nomination season. And a third gave books to colleges. It's a win for the schools and it's great exposure.
And that's all for today. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that subscribe button and share it with all your friends. It goes a long way towards helping people find me. And I'll be back again next Monday with more writing tips and writerly musings. Bye-bye.